Ha 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 ha. That was such a funny thing that you said. Just kidding. Why can't I minimize this? What the fuck is happening? I can't minimize while I'm recording? Fascism. Okay.
Wow, that should be the intro.
Hello and welcome to episode 259 of the VGC Trainer School podcast, where we focus on the competitive side of Pokemon. Whether you're a ladder scholar or newcomer to VGC, we will help you learn. Class is in session. What's good, boys?
Oh, that was yeah. Hi, I'm doing well. My name's Jack. I haven't been here in a long time. Um, Basically, what have I been up to? I've been that guy. I've been that guy at the moment. The team building sensation. Just gotta pat myself on the back. No, basically, I just was building Zamazenta at the very start of the format. I had semi role in helping build the team that Michael Kelch won the regional with. And I've had a lot of pretty big players been messaging me at the moment about my team, and I feel special. So, yeah, we're doing well.
Like who has messaged you recently, Jack?
Me. I've
Hmm.
been I've been messaging Jack. That's who is.
When is this episode coming out? Because I don't want to is it after the
Uh,
regional?
it's right before.
I'm gonna try to get it out. I'm gonna try to edit it tomorrow and get it done as soon as
Let
possible.
Okay,
us
I
know who
probably won't
you.
say it then because people actually do care about what this player brings. So I won't say that. But
Yeah,
I have had players, and after the regional, I can say who that is. But
It's
yeah,
Wolf.
hoping for a good result for them.
it's 100% Wolf.
It's not.
Definitely Wolf. Yep, you got me.
No, but it is me and Tony, but n not notable people. Just we're just talking because we're playing and bringing Zamazenta. Tony and I are bringing Zamazenta, so we got to
That's
pick
very
Jack's
true.
brain ever since he was in third on the ladder, right? Like
Yes. Oh
a
yeah,
couple
I got to
weeks.
Southern Ladder. That was also notable.
Yeah, you forgot, but I remembered.
That's true. I did forget.
So yeah, um, I mean, what about you, Amlo? How are you?
I am doing great. Draft League is in full swing with drafting at the moment. We've already had one crime where somebody attempted to draft like an untiered Mon where it should have been like a B tier, and we made a big stink about it. And we have, and the format is Nat decks, but all the way up to Gen 9. So we have like really disgusting megas and a bunch of broken strategies everywhere. And I had the dumb idea to basically give everyone a more broken Pokemon. So it's basically like watching VGC 2018 all over again.
What Mon got left out?
It was Chandelure, but it was like,
Oh, that's a big one. Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's Trick Room, it's 145 base special attack, it's a ghost type. Like, come on, that's not a garbage Pokemon
Hey,
compared
it
to other
was
things.
Koraidon.
Right? It does walk Koraidon among a bunch of other things.
Zamazenta.
And
Mm-hmm.
Zamazenta. Hey, if you want to counter Koraidon and Zamazenta and like, I don't know, maybe Groudon with an air balloon or something, use
And
Chandelure.
be like Jamie Boyd.
Yeah, ride the Copium. But I've been enjoying building Miraidon, right before Indy started. I've been enjoying toying around with Zam a bunch. I was actually toying with Monkey Dory and Zamazenta of all things. And
Oh, because
somehow
Sludge Wave.
Sludge Wave Monkey Dory with Zamazenta has been putting in so much work.
Nice.
It's insane. And I'm like, why is it better now? But yeah, so I've been enjoying the format and enjoying people trying to innovate really boring archetypes like Calyrex Shadow, etc.
Nice. Yeah, Monkey Dory was pretty fun. The only reason I'm not playing it now is because the Focus Sash is so hard to everything wants it, especially with Zamazenta. You've already got Pelipper and Chen Pao. And the drafting seems pretty fun. It was so fun, in fact, I had to mute you guys for 24 hours. We'll see how if that needs to be extended or not.
You should extend it.
Yeah, I will. Uh, but I know it's a lot of fun. I just am laser focused on LA now because
That's fair.
I really got to go 5-4 again. You know me. But yeah, let's see what's on the agenda for today. Early Reg G format results going into LA, and then pretty much just looking into LA and NAIC because we're wrapping up our year and just got three big events left. LA NAIC Worlds. So pretty exciting.
Damn.
And then we can all take a mental break, right? Because we'll surely stop playing Pokemon in that time.
Absolutely.
Surely.
Tends to be what happens.
Yeah. Let's get into the news. Start with John's segment since Jack is taking care of his
I'm back.
dog.
Oh, Jack's back.
Jack's back.
Jack's back.
Like
What's
in
happening?
Samurai Jack.
News item. Congratulations to the winners of all the regionals that have been happening in Indy, Stockholm, Santiago, and a bunch of Latin America special events. So the winners were Rajan, Michael Kelsch, Hans Pizarro, Juan Salerno, Max Morales, and Kenneth Tirado. I hope I got all those correct. But yes,
Good to
congrats
me.
to all the regional winners. There's been a lot of progress in the meta at the moment, so it's pretty exciting to see.
And speaking of other exciting things, we have two event Pokemon coming out. The first one will be on the weekend from June 1st to 3rd. So they will, on the weekend of Japan Nationals, they will give out a gift Talonflame based on the previous Japan Nationals champions Talonflame. So this is a Talonflame that has Acrobatics, Protect, Tailwind, Quick Guard, but no item,
No
interestingly enough,
item.
because of Acrobatics.
Wow.
And then the other event Pokemon is going to be released at NAIC. So from June 7th to 9th, a Porygon 2 from Nil's team at NAIC is going to be released. So it's a Terra Flying set with download as the ability and the moves Terra Blast, Ice Beam, Recover, and Trick Room. Guys, this is the second Porygon 2 that we've gotten so far.
Hey, I like Porygon too, though. He's
I
got a
love
special
P2
place in my
too.
heart. So
He's great. I love him too. I do need to build with him more this format. I got bored early format, but might come back to him.
My cart team of 6 giveaway Porygon 2s is halfway complete.
Whoop, whoop.
All right. So, tournaments. There's been a lot since we last spoke to you all. I know it's been a while. Just kidding. I'm not the Australian guy. But yeah, Indy, Stockholm, Santiago, Buenos Aires, Bogota.
Mm-hmm.
That one's new to me. I'm sorry.
Bogota.
Bogota. There's no way that's how they say it in Puerto Rico. And
Bogota's in
Carolina.
Colombia.
Oh, okay. They failed to give me that in the show notes. Amlo.
Yeah. And Carolina is in Puerto Rico, it's not North Carolina, it's Carolina.
That one sounds appropriate. Jack, any thoughts? I guess we'll crack at Indy first, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
we should probably start with the first one.
So Indy was won by Rajan Ball with his Miraidon Blood Moon team.
And it's such a sick team, but it also is really annoying and I don't like it.
That's how I feel about all these top gut teams.
It's basically just capitalized on the fact that no one thought that Miraidon was good. And it turned out it was very, very good. So yeah, we were all wrong, I guess.
Yeah,
Except
yeah,
me and Mike.
that's true.
True.
Because you guys had already basically you had this exact 6, I think, maybe except Tornadus.
We were pretty close to this 6, but
Yeah. So you're definitely cooking something, and it was a nightmare for a week to play this team every other match.
Yeah.
Especially because
But
it just has different modes. So even if you think you've got it figured out, they could switch modes.
yeah, the worst one that I encountered is that they just ran Lando Eye over the Blood Moon, and that completely destroyed the team I had at the time, and I was like, oh, I don't like this.
yep.
Probably
But
pretty good into the mirror too.
yeah, we basically saw what I expected anyway, which was a lot of Calyrex Ice, which I mean, it wasn't too surprising, but every single team on High Ladder that I played this was about the time I got to number 3, every single team was just Calyrex Ice or Terrapagos. And
Ugh.
it was like, okay, well, I wonder what will do well at the regional. But yeah, and then Calyrex Shadow just fell off the face of the earth because everyone was like, wow, this mon is so good. We've got to prepare for it. And then it didn't do anything.
It's so true. Well, I mean, it's also hard to do anything when you've got Farigaraphs all over the place, you've got Terapagos all over the place, you've got at least one, if not two, dark types on like every other team, with like Incin or Chien Pao or even a random Ting Lu here and there. And everyone's worst enemy, Pelipper with freaking Wide Guard.
Yep,
Ew.
true.
Who would run that? I think it's funny that there wasn't even a Kali Shadow in the top 16 of Indy.
Really? That's
Yep,
insane.
there is not. There were what, two Kyogres in top 16, but no Caloric Shadow.
Yep, even a Groudon.
The
I think the
Groudon surprised me because I ran into that thing so many times and it just did nothing, I can't lie.
yeah.
I mean, that team from Shiliang Tang, I saw it a few times on ladder, and at the time, it was actually the reason that I was running Terra Steel on Rillaboom because Jugulus like was really difficult to beat. Very
Wow.
strong pick, yeah.
Jugulus. A menace.
Jugulus,
I mean, we were
Those
playing
Hurricanes,
Jugulus
right?
for a while.
yeah.
It's pretty good. Well, I think that's all there is to be said about Indy. A lot has been said. And
Yeah, a lot of people said stuff. There was a lot of what we expected, a lot of hyper offense because it's a new format, and just, Calyrex Ice because it's strong and bulky, and that's basically the reason.
Yep.
But yes, all right,
oh,
we have.
Stockholm.
Stockholm, not home of the Stockholm Syndrome, just Stockholm, Sweden.
Well, it kind of is a bit of Stockholm syndrome because the format was held hostage by this Zamazenta team.
Hey yo!
Whoa, but but yes, it was very strong team. Obviously got top eight the week before. I was building something very similar, but this did come from Michael Zhang primarily. And yeah, just overall, it's so busted. Like I can't understate how broken it was at this time in the format. Just the choice band Rilla, I would say, is like something that I never fully grappled my head around, but just having the double wide guard completely destroyed so many teams and especially Calyrex Ice. Like it just completely beat that outright. Chempao and Zamazenta do so much damage together. And obviously you've got Latias as just like your kill Amoonguss, kill Raging Bolt, and that's its job, essentially.
Mhm.
And also to help beat other Zamazenta. And then you've got Moltres to beat both Calyrexes, and that's a good slot to have if that's one of your issues you're having. So yeah, very strong team.
The foul play Black Glasses calc into Calyrex Ice is hilarious.
So good. My favorite thing that I've come up against is people not knowing how much it actually does. So, for example, I will purposely sack two of my Pokemon before they'll get +2 on their Calyrex, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I've got to Terra out of this foul play," and they'll commit their Terra and
No.
just die. And I'm like, "Oh, bye." But yeah, it is so strong and like I think I think Donald mentioned he got pretty unlucky in his match in top eight or something, and that's
Hmm.
why he kind of bobbled out there. But like, yeah, and the thing is, even if you look at top 16, there's another Galarian Moltres.
Hmm.
Um, oh, apparently I heard that on the day two graphic, Galarian Moltres was tied to be on the graphic as one of the top 12 mons, and they didn't put it on there, and I can't believe why. Why would you not want that?
Right? They don't
But
want to
yeah,
spread the propaganda. I think it's also cool that well, one, these turtles that are in top eight are still like the specs hyper offense kind of turtles. So like your calm mind stuff is working, but like not really at the higher tables yet. Um, but you also saw a couple Miraidon teams that had different takes than Rajon's team. So you had like a Chi-Yu Miraidon team and then a Iron Hands Miraidon team make it top eight. So it's not like Miraidon got beat in a week, which is cool to see.
Looking back, it's hilarious that people didn't think it would be good because just nukes things.
They didn't believe in the power of specs.
It did not. But it's cool that obviously Zamazenta 1 was the underdog, and that a bunch of like just odd tech mons made it into top 16, like Latios and Gmol Trace.
And Melodic got top 16 in a restricted format when it was just garbage in Reg F.
I
Like,
love
come on.
I was messing with it a bunch, but
But don't forget the Sarah Ledge. I don't know if you mentioned that, but yeah.
Yes, the Koraidon check.
Koraidon and Zamazenta check. Yeah. So dumb. The ghost fire types really just putting a stake on. But also if you look at top 32 and just how many Zamazenta there are as well.
It's
Like people
insane.
knew what was up.
Yep.
So yeah, really, really strong.
And you finally have a top 16 Calyrex Shadow.
Congratulations, Color Shadow. Two. But hey, one was with a Como, okay? So
And the other
body
was with,
press.
was that the Smeargle? Yeah, it was the Smeargle Komodo one.
Look, I tried that team. I don't know how they went 10-4. It's not that great. I tried before I tried Zamazenta, I tried Calyrex Como. And I was like, yeah, this is a sick idea, but Como's just too slow. It's just
Yep.
too slow to do anything. So I was like, well, I don't know how I did it, but congrats to them.
Yep. And speaking of Zamazenta, if we go over to Santiago, guess who won?
What?
Whoa.
Whoa.
I just want to take a moment to shout out to all the haters. All the haters that doubted Zamazenta in the beginning, because it's good. And to some of us it was obviously good, just saying.
Yeah. I just want everyone to know that I bought Pokemon Shield. That was my copy. And I'm a proud believer in Zamazenta. So
Yeah,
Mm,
I will always hold that banner high.
heck
mm.
yeah. I did buy Sword because right when I found out about this one raises its attack and this one the defense and doesn't get body press, I was like, all right, I'm getting Sword version. Yeah, easy
I
pick.
didn't know what VGC was. I just saw the dogs and I thought, damn, that one looks sick.
Mm.
Yeah,
And you're right. He does look sick.
it
He
does.
does look sick.
He's not doing well. Just
Mm.
kidding. He's doing great.
Yep.
But then when they had like the shiny distribution at GameStop, I missed the Zacian one and I was like, and I got the Zamazenta and I was like, anybody want to trade? And everybody's like, fuck no. I got my good dog. Fuck
Do you
your
have a
shit
spare
dog.
one? Do you have two?
No, I only have one and I'm gonna be taking
Oof.
it to LA, unfortunately.
Damn. I have three shiny Zacians.
Wow.
I don't have my shiny Zamazenta. I'm looking to trade them.
I will be bringing my shiny to LA and
That's
my
good.
Gmol trace.
Nice.
Yes. Shiny G Moltres. Yes, I love that.
Got to flex on him.
All right. But yes, anyway, back to the regionals because we kind of strayed.
At
Yeah.
Santiago, right?
Yeah. So Santiago won by Iron Defense Body Press Zam, little
With
different to what.
Hearthflame.
Yeah, with Hearthflame, which is a better partner for it than I thought it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of just like redirect Willow with redirect Spore. That's its job, I feel like. So
And then you move
yeah,
your bolt check to Fluttermane.
yep.
And I think
But
that
then
was the
also
perfect
another
time.
Zamazenta was also second place. So it was
Yeah.
just like,
The Zam final was insane. I don't know if y'all saw it.
Nah.
no, I did not see it, but
It
yeah, I
was
can
it was
imagine.
terrible. So Luciano, the guy who got second, legit lost because Hans led Fluttermane, Zamazenta, and just 2-0'd the guy in both games. He didn't
Damn.
lose a single mon and never
Damn.
switched. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
actually crazy.
Yeah. So and it was an Iron Defense mirror, so it wasn't like, one of them had the worst move in the matchup. It's just bro got skill diffed.
Yeah. I think it
Yep.
was the perfect tournament to have Hearthflame because it was just hot off that last Zama win, so everybody was packing Among Us and Will-O-Wisp.
Hmm.
And it's interesting, he didn't need G Moltres. I guess he had enough with Chen Pao and Fluttermane.
Well, with Hearthflame, you can hit your Calyrex Ice around Amoonguss, so you can bonk it into whatever Terra that it doesn't want to be, and then you can punish the Terra later in the game. So you still have your Calyrex Ice check there. Oh, and you also, if you're Iron Defense Zam, you just click Iron Defense a whole bunch, and then it
Yeah.
can't hit you. But I think another cool thing that you see in Santiago's top eight is that both of the turtles are your calm mindsets,
Hmm.
and that you have heal pulse on Clefairy and well, you have heal pulse on Clefairy on one of the teams and then life 2 on the other one. So you basically have leftovers Terapagos without using the item leftovers.
Oh, I didn't realize Volt came third. That's actually very cool because I was trying that. Oh, it's the Quiver Dance set. That's
Yep.
interesting.
Yep. So you have
Yeah.
a Quiver Dance. Yep. You have like two, you have a Calm Mind and a Quiver Dance win con.
Yeah, because I was trying the support set with like Rage Powder Will-O-Wisp, and
Hmm.
yeah, it's actually decent in like if you're trying to patch up like your physical matchup checks.
Hmm.
But yeah, and I don't know if you've ever played Heal Pulse Clefairy plus the Carmine Terapagos, but it is horrendous. It's so
Yeah.
annoying to play.
That's
It's
scary.
like it's like you're playing it against the Comfey, except you do even less the damage, even less damage into the
Yeah,
turtle.
it's
Yikes.
so rough.
And we finally have top eights from our Calyrex Shadow players. And we even have a Gastrodon.
Gastrodon
I
represent.
I'd say one thing about restricted formats is the cool thing is like you get so many random niche mons because
Hmm.
it's just like, oh, I'm bad into Kyogre, so I'm gonna use Gastrodon, right? Like there's not
Yep.
many formats that you can't do that in Reg F because you've got to cover for so many wild varieties of things. But in this
Hmm.
format, you can be like, I'm really bad into Zamazenta. I'm gonna use Ceruledge. It's like there's not many formats where you can do that, so it's pretty cool.
And specifically, this is a Terra Ice Gastrodon.
That's crazy.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah, it's for some ice beam calc into something.
Yeah,
What?
that makes sense, but still, that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yep. So the Chileans were cooking. That's all I see.
Cooking
Chileans were
hot.
cooking.
It's funny that the Volcarona is back to two stabs instead of Giga Drain, like I've always seen it.
Well, that's because
And
Bug is a good stat move now.
yeah, in this meta. And then it's using Flamethrower rather than Heat Wave or Fiery Dance, which is fun. I don't know.
That seems like it's for very particular calc because I'm pretty sure Fiery Dance is like 90 base power.
I think it's 80.
It is? Whoa.
Yeah, Fire Dance is 80, and
It's
then
only
it's
80. Ugh.
yeah,
Yeah, that
but
makes
it's still
sense.
busted. Like it's still such a strong move.
Yeah. And then I also thought it was funny that there's a Zamazenta team that's like hyper offense with Chen Pao Dragonite and Entei and Grassy Glide spam Hearth's Flame. I thought about
It's
using that.
interesting. I'm surprised as well. They've got Crunch over Throat Chop. Like Throat Chop is just really useful as well.
Hmm.
And it's 3 attack Ogre. Yeah, they just went all in on like I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill you before you kill me and hope I win.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a Chen Pao the team. But yeah, I don't know. Any more final thoughts?
Yeah, honestly, it kind of looks pretty samey from what we're seeing. Like you have some like tailwind cores with like Ensign, Torn, maybe some redirection somewhere, where you have like your bouncy cores with like Ensign and Moongus, Raging Bolt, Water Fu, or Dark Fu, or replace something with Orilla. So it kind of seems like there's a lot of the samey feeling supports around things. And then you kind of just stick whatever restricted you want on there, and hopefully you can play the game like that.
Yeah.
Yep, it seems like everybody gave up on Gmol Trace and
So there's some of them
everything
more
else.
further down it in Santiago, but
Yeah, there is that team, but I think people were expecting Zamazenta, and so they used Iron Defense Body Press, and that seemed to work because, yeah. Also, Polaris was cooking hard, but also Pollen Puff as the second move on Calyrex I actually like. So, yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Good old pollen puff. Because you can actually like hit your psychic types and stuff.
yeah. And your Dark types.
All right. How about a whole good air, Buenos Aires?
Buenos Aires.
Buenos
So
Aires.
so we had Miraidon and we had two Zams win the last two events, but now this was the one that Calyrex Ice won. So Juan Fee or Juan Salerno had the like top of the ladder Calyrex Ice team. So it's like Calyrex Ice, Amoonguss, Incin, Waterfoo, Pelipper, and Goldango. So it's like set up Trick Room, bust through things with Surging Strikes, and pretend that you have a Zamazenta match up with the Goldango.
It's so true.
Because I think this was actually like week one or something of the format, and so you won't see
Yeah.
any Zamazentas in this top 8, but you will see 3 Ghost Restricteds. This is the only time Lunala has gotten top 8, and this is the first event where Calyrex Shadow got top 8, and it did it twice.
I am calling now. I saw a team on very high ladder. I think Lunala is going to do well in LA.
I think Lunala is kind of like that Balancy Restricted that can do really well if you're willing to commit to the game plans that it requires you to play.
Yeah.
That's scary. I do not want to see a lot of Lunalas.
No, it is very bad for Zamazenta, but that's the point. But yeah.
Oh God.
But also, before we continue,
Yeah.
this is boring, man. What is this? Number 9 is the only team that looks cool.
Yeah, right? Like, dude, the 3 Terapagos teams are all like Turtle, Grass type, Chi-Yu, Urshifu, Tornadus, and some random other balance team. Like,
Man, and then you've got like Hyper Offense, Calyrex.
yeah, and then
Like you got a
Dondozo
Smeagol,
Calyrex.
like cool.
Yeah, with the Torkoal in second. Yeah.
Oh, is that the Decorate team? That
I
might
think so,
have been the
yeah.
Looks
Decorate
like it.
team.
That's a Decorate
Which
team.
cool, I guess, but like also it's Calyrex Ice, so I
Yeah.
don't know. What do you want to say?
I mean, he's my favorite in top 8 for sure. I like Smear.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite top 8.
But number 9,
Number 9.
you have
Groudon.
Venusaur and Walking Wake with Groudon.
Number 9.
4 supporting mons that love the sun, if you include Incineroar with Flurblitz,
Yep.
which is, yep. You've got a Farigiraf because we don't like Fake Out.
Mhm.
And I really wish I could see the OTS because if this is in prison, then go off, I guess. Because, like, yeah.
This
Like,
is in prison.
That kind of screams in prison at me. I
It
can't
does,
lie.
honestly, yeah.
Yeah, because there's no trick room mode really here. I mean,
No, you don't want to get up Trick Room in front of Calyrex Ice because your Groudon is your restricted.
Mhm.
I hope they hit all their moves, but I guess they didn't because they went 4-2. But yeah, that's basically what it came down to.
Yikes. Yeah, that is kind of how the story of Groudon goes. Don't hit your
Yeah.
sleep powders, don't hit your Pessimist blades, then guess you lose.
Yup.
it looks like Landorus has went up a little in popularity.
I mean, there is one of what, 2 of them? Yeah.
Our
I mean,
Lunala guy really
Yeah.
hates Zamazenta.
Yep.
Oh, also, I want to kindly say good riddance to Lando T. I really don't like that guy.
I hope Lando I also goes away because I hate playing against him too.
Yeah, I just don't think it will, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
like Lando T, you've been around for too long. You've won too many games. Like,
Mhm.
bye-bye.
Please bring it to LA if you're getting matched against me, but not Lando I. I'm good on that.
Yeah, bring Lando T. That would be great.
And speaking of top cuts without Landos, if we go to Bogota, we have our Turtle who has won an event. So Terapagos did win a special event down in Colombia. And this was the boring Chi-Yu Tornadus Terapagos team. It's probably Specs.
This is the Raging Bolt version, which is actually... Oh, wait a minute. I know this guy. I played him in a tour, and I played 2 teams. It was in a best of 1 tour. I played it back to back from 2 different people. The first guy absolutely smoked me, and they had the Raging Bolt, and I thought that was like the only notable thing. Yeah, the first guy smoked me, and I beat the second guy because I knew what I was doing now. But like, yeah, the Chi-Yu plus the Raging Bolt is actually really hard to account for, and obviously Terapagos just hits really hard. So, yeah.
Yeah, but now, since it wasn't week 1 of the format, we now have 3 Zamazenta teams that are basically clones of each other.
They are, except for like An Amoongus.
Yeah, it's like an Amoonguss versus an Ensign, but it's still like the Flutter Pelipper Raging Bolt package with Chien
Yeah.
Pao.
It's a strong team. I would say it's not the strongest team, but if you're looking for a team to go like 6-3 at a regional, like that's probably your team,
Oh,
you know?
100%. It's consistent enough to get you out of bad matchups.
Yeah. And Raging Bolt is literally a second restricted, so it's
It has
just
basically the same bulk and what not considering Shadow Shield, but it has like the same bulk and special attack as Lunala does,
yeah, which is crazy.
which isn't fair. But speaking of cool teams, here in sixth place, Joseph Kwan used a Mamoswine on his Miraidon team.
I saw this clip, like the thing on Twitter of like a
Uh-huh.
mammoth swine, and it was like, that's cool, but I don't know what it does.
It clicks Icicle Spear. That's what it does.
It's got 2 ground types, so you can click discharge. Like I think that's
Hmm.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
He replaced the rock Ogerpon with a mammoth swine, and why
So you can
not?
do Bolt Beam, right? Discharge
Yep.
with your Icicle Spear.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing it has a sash because it looks like he has a
No,
sash
Oh, it
available.
would be
well,
loaded dice.
Wims has a sash, and yeah, it's probably
Hmm.
loaded dice.
Oh, I assumed covert cloak on whims.
Oh, no. This
Not
Whimsicott
on this
definitely
team.
has Sash.
Yeah.
Oh, because they have for a giraffe. They don't need
Yep.
it.
I
And
don't know
then
if you watched the team report that Rajan did, and he said he really wanted to do Whimsicott be faster than Miraidon and it have Sash Endeavor. And
yes.
then that would, like, I think that would be so sick if someone can make that work. But yeah, anyway, back to
Then you paralyze yourself.
We also have the Decorate Cali Ice team again.
again.
Woo!
That'll never
So
go away.
that'll never I mean Decorate Torkoal is such a good strategy. Just
I
spam
mean,
+2 eruptions past your checks.
Yeah. I did lose to Iron Ball Hitmon top coaching onto Calyrex Ice, so you know what?
Fair
It'll
game.
it'll never go away. In close
Yeah.
team sheets, I'm not that bad. But yeah.
Yep. And then if we go over to Puerto Rico, we have Caridon winning. So we've already had all of the Gen 9 restricteds win an event, and it's not even June yet.
Yeah. Which just
for
shows
I
you how crazy they are and how much they put importance on the generational gimmick and making people buy money, right? Because
Right?
like Terapagos is busted,
Yep.
Miraidon and Caradon are busted. Like, yeah.
And
Rhydon won our little tournament that we held with the VGC Trainer School prior to Indy.
true.
True.
So
It
And
did.
speaking of accessibility issues, this is also Walking Wake's first like special event or major win. So Walking Wake is no longer mid, I guess.
yep, it's rough being a Violet player, but at least they have Miraidon.
Yep. Yep.
Poor walking way. It really just like it's one of those mons where it just like hits slightly less than you need it to and just doesn't live anything. You know, it's
Yep.
just when I can grassy glide and thunderclap it and kill it in one turn, you know, and it's meant to have the dragon typing there to help it. It's like it's just not great.
Yep. Well, this team I think answers that issue by having Tornadus and Golden go because you have
True.
two spread moves there finally, which because that's also Koraidon's problem is that it is a nuke, but it also sometimes doesn't pick up quite enough damage because you're using flame charge or you go into a resist or something like that.
Yeah,
But Golden Go specifically fixes your Zamazenta matchup of all things,
supposedly.
supposedly, until you click Terra Normal for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's funny how Koraidon's meant to have a really good matchup into Zamazenta, but
It
just
just
because
doesn't.
Pelipper is always with it, it's
Yep.
like because if you're trying to click Collision Claw, you just tear a grass and then Flare Blitz does literally nothing, and Collision Course does about 20% in rain,
Hmm.
and it's like okay, well now I just win. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And also I
And
And
don't know if you've 1v1'd Pelipper versus Goldengo, but the results would shock you.
yeah, it's really bad. The weather ball does so much damage.
speaking
Yeah.
of Chad legendaries from the best generation named Ho-Oh, we've got Ho-Oh in eighth place. by Javier Rodriguez with Torkoal, Ho-Oh, Ting Lu, Chen Pao, Flutter, Raging Bolt.
I like
I
how
do
it's like
like
the
this take.
proto core, right?
Yeah. They've just had to use Torkoal. It's funny because I feel like there's a lot of restricteds that get a lot better once two restricteds can come in. And I think Ho-Oh is actually like I have been saying since the generation started that I really wanted to try Koraidon Ho-Oh because I think
Yes.
Koraidon is weak to fairies. Ho-Oh has 154 or something stupid Spadef or something like
Hmm.
that. And it is really good, in theory. You've got Sacred Fire to burn, you've got really high Spadef, but it also just like in single restricted, it just doesn't do enough, which is sad because I really like it and I have been trying to use it, but it's just not that good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole thing of not doing enough damage with Sacred Fire or just like straight up missing or needing
Yeah.
to rely on the burn for your matchups, like
Yeah.
that just feels so bad. But I think that Ho-Oh team is probably the reason Zamazenta is not in top eight here
Yeah.
Yeah.
because Zam just can't. I mean, you have Pelipper, right? But like, it's a bit
Mm.
harder when you have Torkoal and Raging Bolt on the other side.
Yeah, it
So,
does beat Zamazenta really well. That's the one thing it does.
Yeah. Puerto Ricans got together and said, "We're done with this Zamazenta stuff, guys. No one is allowed to top with it here."
Yeah. But also, I think that was the team that gate kept Joe out of this cut,
yes, it
actually.
was
Yeah, he bubbled ninth.
with Kali Shadow.
Yep.
Oof.
So fair play. But yeah.
Yeah. I think another cool thing here is that we see another two Kyogre teams, but you actually see Kyogre Zarina as like the Kyogre thing right now.
Yeah.
Because I
Cool.
was seeing that you don't even see Tornadus on Kyogre teams as often as you see Kyogre and Zarina. Um, because we see that the Kyogre, Zarina, Incin, Waterfoo, Jugulus, Fluttermane team that the Tang Gang used up at Indy. Um, which I think is really cool because Jugulus gives you a better matchup into Calyrex Shadow and isn't like hot garbage with missing Bleak Winds the whole time. Can't be taunted, is super duper 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 fast with booster energy. But Zarina helps with your Grassy Glide and Thunderclap issue and helps into your water type mirrors by clapping stuff with Power Whip and then clapping Rillabooms with Triple Axle.
Triple
So,
Axle is really strong. It does like at least 90% to a Raging Bolt.
mhm.
And that's a very big deal for Kyogre teams. So yeah, very strong. And wide lens, don't use anything other than wide lens. And
Yep.
who
Yep.
was it that missed two power whips on stream with the wide lens?
Yeah.
That is insane. Oh, against the
Yeah.
Groudon, yeah. Like
Yeah.
how you miss 99% accurate, and it was like, no, you're not going to day two. Sorry.
Oh, well,
Like,
wide lens
oh,
is like 85 accuracy, isn't it?
for power whip. Oh,
So
it's
from
like
it'll be 93 with
Oh,
power with
oh, I
wide
meant
lens
on
like the
power.
93.
base
Yeah,
accuracy.
but
But yeah,
still, man, that
93.
is heartbreaking.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, use wide lens and just hope it hits and
Yeah,
or
forget.
don't and just be built different and hit your moves anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, it might be your lucky day. Move over Torn Ogre. It's Czar Ogre now.
It is
Mhm.
Zarogre.
Sounds badass.
Mhm. I will say there is a speaking of the triple axle calc, fifth place had a Chien Pao with the Zarina. So your
Yeah.
triple axles are killing things.
Nice. They also
Oh,
have a Cresselia,
Hmm.
which is cute.
I don't think it was an official tour. I think it was an online tour. But shout out to the guy who came like top four with Ludicolo Kyogre because in Sword and Shield I built a Ludicolo team and I took it to like top 100 on the rank ladder and that was like my best result from that year and I love Ludicolo and so shout out to that guy.
That's got to be the coolest mon we've mentioned ever. So
Yeah, it was like
shout out.
I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure if this was the same on their team, but I used like Fake Out, Encore, Leaf Storm, and Muddy Water or Scald back then. And it was like, yeah, Ludicolo.
Respect.
So what do y'all think are going to be like the big things to watch out for LA and NIIC?
Uh,
Uh,
Zamazenta, if you
yeah.
don't have a matchup, you should probably get one. And even if you have a matchup, they might have a mon that just completely ruins your matchup. So make sure you have something, and Will-O-Wisp is not enough. So please try and build something else.
Yes. Tell the people, Jack.
No,
Will-O-Wisp
Yeah.
is not a
don't tell the
strategy.
people. I'm gonna cut out this whole portion. D we're gonna redo it. I'll start. All right, don't worry about Zamazenta, guys. Like, it just won 2 regionals, so
Yeah,
like
it's really
everybody's gonna
weak at
be
the moment.
going hard for it. Nobody's gonna run it.
There's
It's
been
terrible.
way too much Chandelure on ladder. I've been having such a bad time.
Yeah.
Uh,
So Rule Edge, even Skeledirge, Zamazenta's shit now.
yeah, it's so bad. Please don't use it.
Mm.
Okay, now that we sorted that out. Oh, man, I want to use Wide Guard plus Skeledirge now.
Well,
Uh,
Skeledirge is actually legit.
yeah, I could see
Um,
it.
it's
With
pretty
no Kelly
solid.
Shadows around, I could see it.
Could have like Torch Song, Shadow Ball, Will-O-Wisp Protect.
Oh,
Well, it
yeah.
also gets Alluring Voice now for an actual fairy move that isn't Terror Blast. So you
That
can
could be
use it into
cool.
Raging Bolt or Koraidon.
Okay,
Who
AV
boosts their...
Skeledirge.
No, nothing really sets up now, which kind of sucks because you could
Yep.
confuse it.
Well, Terapagos does with Calm Mind
Yeah.
and
Would
Zamazenta with Iron Defense.
does it how does that
Yeah.
work? Because Burning Jealousy acted like first turn that Zacian switched in, right? So would it work when Zamazenta hit the field? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Anyway.
does.
Oh yeah, cool. There you go. There's your Zamazenta counter, guys.
Dang. Dude,
Use
AV.
alluring voice. Make us sad.
You got Torch Song, Shadow Ball, Alluring Voice, and Burning Jealousy. Boom.
Boom.
Sylvest.
Ooh, AV. Ooh, AV.
This is your LA winning Mon right there.
Oh man. I love random AV mons. So good.
And
So,
you can beat those silly Dozo teams that are going around.
yes,
Uh,
I will say, here's my hobby horse for LA. Calyrex Shadow is not a good Pokemon. Calyrex Shadow is beat by good team building. You should get off of Calyrex Shadow and stop coping. It's like the size spam of Reg F and Reg E.
but you know what's gonna happen, right? It's gonna be like there's going to be top 64, there's gonna be no Calyrex Shadow, but then the person who wins is gonna be using it because they're
Yes.
just better.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Like it literally is being ridden by copium. If the
And
good players were not playing Calyrex Shadow, it would not be doing well. That is my hill that I will die on this regulation.
here's
But that's also what happened with Miraidon, to be fair. Like all the bad players were using it, and then some good players decided to use it, and then it won. So like
that's why it's the perfect time for the right Shadow player to come in and take it all.
Well, like
And
Miraidon is like legit doing stuff because people stopped using the future paradox spam that they were doing.
yeah.
Like, and they're playing to its strengths, right? Because Miraidon by itself shuts off a Moongus counterplay. And you pair that with Farigiraf, which shuts down fake out counterplay. Like you just took care of like most of what balance can do.
True. I actually have a theory about why Calyrex Shadow is doing so bad at the moment.
Yes,
And
give us the
it's
theory.
like, okay, so here's the theory. You know that bell curve meme, right?
Yes.
Where it's like, yeah, okay, so this is what's happening, right? On either side of the bell curve, let's just say you're at literally like 1,100 on Showdown Ladder and you're at 1,700 on Showdown Ladder. Either side of
Yes.
this bell curve, it just says, I'm just gonna click Astral Barrage, right? That's what it says, right?
Yes.
And so if you get to either side of those things and you're using Calyrex Shadow, it's like, yeah, you're probably just going to win because everyone doesn't expect you to just spam Astral Barrage over and over again.
Yes.
But if you're in the middle, say 14, 13, 14, 1500s, I feel like that's where you see so much more Ting Lu, Urshifu Dark, like just AV Insins. Like you see
Mhm.
so much more Calyrex Shadow counterplay. And so in the middle, it's like, oh no, I need my Dark type. I'm gonna lose with Calyrex Shadow. And then on either side, it's just like, I'm just gonna clear Astral Barrage.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yep.
I
Yep.
believe it.
that's my theory.
LA or NAIC is when Wolf is gonna show up and be like, "Y'all
Oh,
thought Cali Shadow was over," and then he's gonna show us what
I
it
think he's
does.
going to do it at NAIC because I think he needs a little bit longer before then.
probably.
I did get to milk a great YouTube video off of Wolf destroying me with Caloric Shadow, so that was great. But yeah. The only time
Nice.
I've ever played Wolf, he was using Clefairy Caloric Shadow into Zamazenta, and I was like, oh, that's a bad matchup. So yeah, that was
I
rough.
think LA might be the regional where Ho-Oh actually sneaks in.
Maybe
I'd say
if
to
people
day
got the
two, I
yeah,
reckon.
yeah.
Yeah.
If people got the message that it's good into Zamazenta, yes. But you also have to figure out literally all the rest of its matchups because they're not great.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you okay, let's guess who the winner is.
Hmm.
Let's guess of one random restricted that you might see in top eight that
Hmm.
people probably aren't expecting.
Hmm.
And then just let's say what is the worst restricted in day two or doesn't make day two. And like the best restricted that doesn't make day two.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. Who's going first?
Okay,
Okay, I'll go first.
go for it.
All
Okay, I'm gonna win, and
right.
Ho-Oh, Ho-Oh is gonna sneak in,
Fair.
and what was the third thing?
Best restricted that doesn't make day two.
Yes, that will be. mm, uh, I don't know. This is tough because the ones that make day two are. Wait, it's not even gonna make day two? I think
Yeah,
Yeah,
all the
like
the
good ones
best
are
one
gonna
that
make day
doesn't
two.
make day two.
I could say maybe
and
not making top 16, but not making day two. All the good ones are gonna make it.
okay,
That's
maybe like
my
top
take.
64, depends how many people there are. But like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ho-Oh's not gonna make it. It's gonna sneak in,
It's
and
gonna
it's
make
also
top
not
eight
gonna
and
make
also
it.
not make it. I like that.
Yep.
Yikes. Yikes.
All right. I think that oh, I don't want to call that because I feel like that's a big call. But
Hmm.
I think that I'll do it anyway. I think Lunala's gonna win.
Let's go.
I saw that
Oh,
team and I am really impressed. And if that player is going to LA, they're going to be really hard to beat because they know what they're doing with the team. And I saw the team and I didn't know what I was doing and I was still winning games. So I think that team is really good. Um, but yeah, so Lunala's going to win. I think a random mon that's going to make top eight, it's going to be just like, I don't know, what's a weird restrictor that's going to make top eight? I think Zarshan makes a top eight appearance. I think someone's going to like make a semi-decent Zarshan team, but it's not good enough to win the whole thing.
it is
Mm.
And
about
then
time.
the best restricted that doesn't make day two, uh, I'm gonna say hot take Koraidon doesn't because
Oh,
I
wow.
that's a big take and I'm probably wrong, but I have not seen many good Koraidon teams at the moment. Most of them
Yep.
have just been paired with spammy Sunsetters that lose if a Pelipper hits the field.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's my massive hot take.
Wowee.
I kind of agree with
Um,
everything you said.
hmm. I
Maybe it's because I'm
think
using Pelipper, but still.
so. I think Calyrex Ice is going to win it just because I some Ice Rider nerd is going to balance his way to the top
Yeah, no, that's fair.
because
I
there's
think
just so many of them, right?
I agree with people are trying to overcorrect the meta right now, so maybe something just really boring is going to win it.
Yeah. And I do think, but I think my hot take for top eight is going to be Lunala because I think it is time for it to finally make top eight. Um, but best restricted that doesn't make day two, I would probably say something like probably like Dialga or something like that because I think Koraidon's going to make it. I think Lunala's going to make it. I think Ho-Oh is even going to make it just because of how many people are going to show up to LA. So I think a
Yeah.
bunch of the usual suspects are going to make it. But
Yeah.
I think Dialga is like right on the cusp of being there, but not going to make it. Like Groudon, I think will definitely make it, but just by sheer numbers.
Yeah. That's why I wasn't sure because like everything that's good we know. And like
Hmm.
if Dialga made day two, it'd probably eat my shorts.
Lovely. Well, those were some great hot takes, but yeah,
So let's
Koraidon
see.
in the bin.
Koraidon's totally in the bin.
In the bin.
All right. I don't know. I think we've said everything there is to possibly say.
I believe so.
We've
Good little,
solved Reg G.
good little. We have solved it. Guys,
Yep.
don't use ghost types. No one tech terror ghost.
Mm-mm.
It's bad.
If I go up against Izama Ghost in a mirror in one of my final matches, just dishonor on your entire family.
No, just Galarian Moltres.
Oh yeah. Except I wouldn't use that. Just
It
kidding.
loses to Galarian Moltres always. They don't know this.
Got him, and then they body press me, and I'm dead.
No. No.
Just trust. Just trust.
Just trust. Trust the process.
Trust. Okay, let's wrap it up.
Okay.
Well, goodbye, everybody. I'll see you in LA, and if you see me, say hi. I'll probably be wearing a VGC Trainer School shirt.
Hell yeah.
Or
I'm
an
the guy with
Umbreon
the
hat.
weird hair. I might have an Umbreon hat.
See you ho-ohs later.
Ooh,
Ooh, got him.
I'm just pissed I didn't think of that myself.
So rough.
All right.
Bye.
Good night, sweet dreams.
Bye-bye.
How do we stop?
Class
Avidas.
dismissed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good job, Amlo.